For over a century, we've looked at the ground beneath our feet and seen a warehouse, a vast, silent vault of dead rock and buried fuel, waiting to be dug up and used. We built our global economy on a simple, one-way process: extraction. We found finite materials, pulled them to the surface, burned them for energy, and moved on to the next deposit. To keep that process going, we engineered massive machines and towering facilities to rip these materials from the earth as fast as possible. These resources powered modern civilization. They heated our homes, built our skylines, and connected continents. But that era of rapid growth ran on a mathematical flaw. This model relied on consuming a world it could not replace. As our populations grew, our demand for energy surged. We pushed that extractive model to a global scale, racing to tap into deep reserves of liquid oil to keep the machinery running. Entire landscapes were transformed. Forests of metal derricks sprouted across valleys, crowding out the horizon to drain every available drop. The byproduct of this intense industrialization is the reality we face now. We are managing fragile food systems and degraded environments that struggle to bounce back from extreme weather. We are hitting the physical limits of a strained planet. We have reached the end of what we can simply take. We need a new natural resource to sustain human life in the 21st century. But if we try to consume it like coal or oil, the resulting damage will break the planet's life support systems. A different kind of resource is already here, lying right beneath our feet. We just can't see it. Scientist Dr. Shashi Sharma calls this unseen community of life the Hidden Republic. It is a massive, interconnected network, quietly sustaining the entire globe. Unlike the static veins of coal or pools of oil we spent the last century mining, this resource is a vibrant, breathing, active entity. We are talking about the microbiome, the collective community of trillions of microscopic organisms, like bacteria and fungi, that interact in a specific environment. These tiny organisms act as microscopic engineers. They break down organic matter, process nutrients, and directly feed the roots of our crops to create the fertility in our soils. Without this invisible, living foundation, the agricultural systems we rely on to feed 8 billion people would fail. And this network doesn't stop at the shoreline. It stretches out from the land and saturates the oceans that cover most of our world. In the sea, marine microbes and microscopic plankton form the base of the food web, dictating the natural cycles of the ocean. Their influence travels upward, too. These organisms are suspended in the very air we breathe. High in the atmosphere, these biological entities serve as the microscopic cores that gather moisture, literally helping to form the clouds above us. And if you want to know just how close this network is to you, you only have to look inward. This exact same biological system lives within your own body, aiding your digestion and immune system. This continuous biological engine is what makes life on Earth possible. As we look toward our future, we must recognize this biological network as our primary natural resource for the 21st century. This diagram illustrates a mechanical difference. Our old resources operated on a linear process of taking until the well ran dry. Because a biological network is alive, you cannot take from it without destroying its value. You can only collaborate to help it grow. This requires a transition to stewardship. Stewardship is the practice of understanding, restoring, and working alongside the Earth's living systems, rather than simply mining them. The microbiome is our next natural resource, and it may be our last chance to learn how to use a resource without repeating the mistakes of the past. If we learn to steward this living system wisely, we can restore degraded ecosystems, strengthen our food security, and directly support human health. This shift gives rise to industries and technologies centered on planetary health rather than depletion. But this won't happen by accident. Building this future requires new scientific knowledge, thoughtful policies, and a unified way of working with the living systems of the Earth. It asks us to stop viewing the Earth as a rock holding materials to exploit, and start recognizing it as a highly complex, interconnected organism. We are only beginning to understand the living systems that sustain our planet, from the bacteria in the soil to the clouds and the atmosphere. It all operates as one single living entity. Once you see this invisible world, you begin to see the planet differently. Welcome to the Hidden Republic.